All right, first day of class, let's get it. Congratulations, you actually made it through high school. But now you gotta go through those 4 years all over again, but at a much harder level because now you're in college. Now, depending on who you are, you may have to balance your school life, work life, and gym life. And it's not as difficult as many people make it out to be, as long as you're on top of your time management and you're prioritizing what's important to you. So luckily for you, I got you. I'm gonna be giving you what were the tips that helped me get through college and how I was able to stay on top of all three worlds and not fall apart. So, when it comes to figuring out how to manage your workouts during a busy college semester, you first got to realize or figure out how many times can you realistically work out during the week. Because you got to keep in mind, as much as gains are important, if you're in college, your goal is also to have brains to go with the gains. So as much as we all want to prioritize skipping class, going to the gym, working out 4, 5, 6, 7 days, working out every day, it's not going to be as feasible. However, what you can do is adjust your workout program during the semester according to the days that you have available. For example, if you know you have class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, well, you still have 3 other days of the week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that you can work out. However, if you know that Monday and Wednesdays you get out really late, but your Tuesday, Thursday schedule is a little bit more open, okay, well then now you can work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays after class. So depending on your availability throughout the week, that's going to determine the frequency in which you work out. Oh my God. So, along with figuring out and finalizing how many days of the week you're actually going to be working out, that's only half the battle. Now you actually got to figure out how to save time by knowing what to do during those workouts. Keep in mind, again, we're busy college students. You got homework, you got other responsibilities, you got to study, you know, you got to maybe make your way over to your part-time job, whatever it may be. We can't be spending 2, 3, 4 hours at the gym per day as much as we want to. In reality, there's other responsibilities that we got to take care of. So one thing to know is make sure that you go in with a workout program. You already know you're going to work out, let's just say, only 3 days per week, because again, that's the only availability you have that matches your busy schedule. Okay, good. Now within those 3 days, now you have an idea of how many exercises you have to do per day. I was like, all right, I got 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. What should I do? Should I do upper body, lower body, full body, push, pull legs, full body all 3 days? Now you have an idea of how many days you're gonna be working out. It should be a little bit easier for you to program ahead of time. So that way, when you actually do get to the gym, you're not just there wasting time figuring out what it is that you have to do. Again, every little second counts, every minute counts, every hour counts. When you're a busy college student, you're gonna have a lot of responsibilities, you're gonna have a lot on your plate, but as long as you manage your time well, you will be able to make your way around everything. So another thing is, when you're already doing your workouts, let's just say you actually took the time to program and you say you're gonna start off with barbell back squat, then you're gonna move over to some leg extensions, then some hack squat, then some hamstring curls, whatever it may be. Okay, too many times I see people wasting time and energy in the gym. So many warm-up sets leading up to their top set. Let's just say in your program you wrote 4 sets of 15 reps. Okay, are those actually 4 good quality sets? Or are you warming up 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, and then finally on your 4th set it was decent? No. Go in actually start working on your warm-up sets. It shouldn't be taking you that long to warm up. If you have to spend 20-30 minutes foam rolling before your workout, loosening up, well, that should be a clear indication that you're way too stiff in the first place, and that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be that stiff to start off with. Walk around more throughout the day. During your actual workout, let's just say you started off with squats. You did 3 good sets of squats with 315 for 8 reps. Okay, next you're gonna move over to the leg press. Your legs are already warmed up by that point. You shouldn't be wasting your time starting off with 1 plate, then 2 plates, then 3, and keep adding on. No, just go straight into your top set. Again, this movement works out exactly the same muscle groups as the squat. Your legs are already warmed up. Just jump straight into it. Go for it. Good form. You're already warmed up. You're ready to go. All of these little things waste time. And when you're a busy college student, time is a valuable asset. So do not waste it. Ah! Oh, that's it. Woo-wee. That burns. Ah. So ultimately, when it comes to figuring out how to schedule your gym sessions while in college, it comes down to figuring out what your weekly availability is, whether you're only able to work out 2, 3, 4, however many times out of the week. And then after that, adjusting your actual workout program. What I mean is your exercise selection to accommodate that many amount of days that you're going to be working out. And then once you get in the gym, don't be wasting time. Warm up as much as needed, but don't overdo it. When jumping from exercise, as long as you're still working the same muscle groups, don't be re-warming up again. Just go into that main working set. And then lastly, but probably most importantly, is you want to avoid one of these little guys right here. You say you're limited on time, you say you're on a tight schedule, but for some reason you always make the time to waste time on this in between sets. No. If you want to listen to music while you're working out, fine. But keep your phone on the ground in your gym bag near you, but you don't have to be on it for so long. You do not need that long rest. Realistically, 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between sets, that's ideal if you're really pushing it hard. But if you're wasting 5 up to 10 minutes in between sets because you're on one of these, well, there goes all the time. That's time that you could have spent working on that assignment that you're waiting last minute to do, studying for that test that you know you have tomorrow. There's so many other things that you could be doing to utilize that time, but here you are. So that pretty much covers the actual gym portion of your college experience. But remember, what do we need? We need gains, we need brains. So what exactly can we do to best manage staying on top of our classwork? All right, class is in session. So we already covered how exactly were we supposed to balance the gym. But now it actually comes to the school work. What exactly are you in college for? You're paying thousands of dollars, wasting so many hours on an expensive piece of paper that says you have a bachelor's in probably something that you're not even gonna get a career in after you graduate. So then you're gonna realize, wow, college was a complete scam. But anyways, while you are here wasting your life away, how exactly can we manage in these classes that you already know have absolutely nothing to do with what it is you want to pursue, but you're too worried about failing them anyways? How can we stay on top of them? Well, here's the thing. There's gonna be so many different ways that you can go around it, but realistically, the classes themselves, depending on what major you're in, are not as hard as most people may make it out to be. It only becomes difficult when you're actually slacking off, procrastinating, waiting to do assignments last minute, not actually taking the time to put in the extra hours of studying that you need to get the grade that you want for that class. So let me put it to you this way. I feel it all starts with actually setting up your class schedule. Just how you need to first figure out how many days of the week and what specific days of the week you're going to be working out. Well, same thing with your classes. You want to be able to balance everything out. Okay, first figure out what days of the week are you actually going to be going to class. This isn't like high school where people make up the classes for you and you already have a preset schedule. The good thing about college is you control your own schedule to a certain degree, but you get to pick what time you want to start going to classes. It's not like high school where you have to force yourself to wake up early, or your mom is forcing you to wake up early so you can make it to your 8 a.m. class despite you not wanting to be there. If in college you want to sleep in and start your classes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then go ahead. Some classes, depending on which ones they are and if they're the ones that you need for your degree, you can actually choose what time of the day you want to start them. The way it was for me graduating from Cal State Northridge,
Typically, the classes will go hour and 15 minutes long, with a 15-minute gap in between that time session into the next time session, so you can actually walk to the next class. So the way they would normally run is there was an 8 a.m. class, a 9:30 class, an 11 o'clock class, 12:30 to 3:30. There are more classes afterwards, but typically the later classes are reserved more for the master students, those going for their masters. But at least that's how it is for my school, CSUN. I don't know how other colleges works, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. So the way I usually ran about it was my class schedule fluctuated a bit, but I did that on purpose. I did what I had to do to find the best classes that fit with my schedule. So when I first started college, I was typically working out in the evening. I already determined I'm going to be working out Monday through Thursday, but in the afternoon after I get off from my classes. So what I did was I was purposely picking the 8 a.m. classes, and I will purposely start my day a lot earlier so I could finish a lot earlier and I could go home a lot earlier. Many of us do not like waking up early, and that's perfectly fine. Again, you're in college, you have a little bit more liberty. You can do what you want. You control your schedule even more. If you want to start your classes at 9:30, then go for it. Or if you want to wait until your first class of the day is that 11 a.m. slot, go for it. And again, every time slot is going to be a little different depending on what campus you're at and how their class structure is. So I will start the day early by choosing the early classes. Boom, finish the day early, go home, eat, take a quick nap, then work out in the afternoon. And that worked perfectly fine for that time. But halfway through my freshman year of college, I actually met my girlfriend, and she convinced me that we should start working out earlier in the day. We should work out bright and early in the morning instead of waiting all the way until the evening to work out. So I'm like, all right, you know what, let's do it. I've never really worked out in the morning like that. I was more of an evening person. Doesn't mean I didn't wake up early. It's just I'd rather wake up early, go straight to school, then come home. But I'm like, all right, let's give it a chance. So the following semester, what I did was when I was selecting my classes, I will pick my first class of the day to be the 9:30 slot and then work into the evening. So that way in the morning, I had a little bit more time to get my workout in, then head over to class. And again, that worked perfectly fine for me. And that was actually the schedule I was following throughout the remainder of college. I actually found out that that actually works better for me. I actually do like the feeling of waking up early, getting my workout in before anything else, because you know, it's very important to me, then going to class. And I also found that for those of you who are struggling maybe to manage both, think about what happens. You have a very long day. Then you get home, man, no, I'm tired. I don't want to work out. You know what? Tomorrow I'll work out. Well, tomorrow comes along, and do you end up working out? Most likely, no. So that's a good thing. If you can, I would highly suggest you do your workout first thing in the morning, then go to class. But you may be wondering, well, the classes that I want, they already got taken up. Like, oh man, I want to sign up for this class, or I need it, but the only time slot that worked here was this time. There is a way around that. What you can do is find ways to get priority registration. Priority registration basically means you get to select your classes before anyone else does. I don't know how many of you do this. I don't know how many campuses do this, but everyone has a set period of time of when they could actually begin registering for the classes for the upcoming semester. Depending on what program you are, what extracurricular activities you're involved with on campus, you get priority registration. That means you get an earlier date to go in, check online, and pick your class schedule. And that actually works better because think about it, the earlier you pick your classes, well then obviously the more selections you have to choose from. Compared to those who have the latest start date, well, essentially they're gonna be stuck with the worst classes, the worst time slots. You know, it just really works against them. Find a way to get priority registration and take the advantages that no one else has. Choose your classes while they're still fresh and many of them are available, and find what works best with your schedule. Again, you have the freedom to be a little bit more flexible, do what works best for you, but try to stay with that consistent schedule. I try to find classes where they start at the same time each day. Since we're talking about starting at the same time each day, that's another thing. It didn't always work out that way. On Mondays and Wednesdays, I was able to find classes that, let's just say, start at 9:30. However, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the earliest classes that I can find were 11. Okay, so what happens there? I already established I'm gonna be working out early in the morning, but on those days when it's Tuesday and Thursdays, when I can start later, you may be thinking, okay, I can sleep in a little bit more. My workout can start a little bit later because now I could go into class a little bit later. No. That's another thing when it comes to balancing all this out. Try to stick to the same routine every single day. Even though I don't have to go to class as early, well, now I can actually still wake up at the same time. But what happens after you work out? you don't have that 9:30 class. You have to wait all the way until 11. That hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half time frame that you have, that's when you can go ahead and do your homework. That's the time that you can take to study. And again, when it comes to schoolwork in college, it's not just about the time that you spend in class. It's also about the time that you spend outside of the classroom doing your homework, studying, taking notes, reviewing those flashcards, all the different things that you need to do to actually help you retain the information. That's what makes the difference between having a low grade in class and actually striving for that ideal grade that you want. In most cases, it should be an A. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want an A in their classes, but you actually got to make the time for it. I know too many people, too many of my classmates, too many students where the entire semester they were just slacking, and then at the end of the semester, come the time of finals, they are stressing the night before, cramming everything, reading the entire textbook, rewriting all their notes, looking through 100, 200 flashcards. Like, let's be completely honest. If you didn't get the information and you didn't learn it within one semester, you're not gonna learn it in one night. So throughout the beginning of the semester, already start making it a habit of constantly reviewing your notes, constantly studying, doing flashcards. Whatever it is that you have to do, whatever method of studying works best for you, stick with it from day one, lecture one, all the way into the end of the semester. Because if you don't and you procrastinate, by the time you get to the end of the semester, you're not gonna find time to study. And again, time is a valuable asset when you're in college. And let's be completely honest, you know you need all that time at the end of the semester to study because you want that grade that you have in mind. So that's gonna cover the actual schoolwork portion of college. Now, what's left? Well, that's gonna depend on person to person. For certain people, that's the only thing that they have to worry about. They are just a full-time student, and lucky them. Maybe they have their parents supporting them through college. Maybe they got a scholarship. They have a way to financially support themselves through their college experience. But for many others, we gotta work because we got bills to pay. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong if you are blessed and do not have to work while you're in college. If you can just focus on school and your gains, well then good for you. But for many, that's not the case. Many of us, we had to get part-time jobs while we're in college. Some people even had to get multiple part-time jobs. Some people have to work a full-time job while still staying on top of their classes and while still, maintaining their gains. Now, this is where it's going to become a little bit more difficult for those who are trying to balance everything out. Because as much as employers are going to say, yeah, we'll work around your school schedule, in reality, they don't. But if you land a job on campus, it might be a little easier for you because actual jobs on campus, at least from what I heard of, they are a little bit more flexible and they actually do have stricter rules about how they can schedule their employees or their students to work their shifts. Now, me personally, I was able to be fortunate to actually have a job on campus. I worked as a personal trainer during my undergrad. And that worked to my advantage. Specifically, I was a personal trainer, so I actually had the most flexible schedule you can think of. If I didn't want to come work on Fridays, I did not work on Fridays because I just didn't want to schedule any of my clients on Fridays. If I want to just come in one day per week and I pack all my clients in one day, I was able to do that. So find a job that is flexible enough for you to do something similar. Again, not everyone is fortunate enough to actually find a job that lines up with their career path, but if you can, use it to your advantage and try to make everyone else work around your schedule. So again, for me being a personal trainer, I didn't ask them, hey, are you available at this time? Yes or no? No, I gave them the time. I let them know, I was like, can you train on Monday at 6 p.m.? Yes or no? Okay, if they said no, I gave them another option of something that still works to my advantage. This is gonna be a little different from everyone depending on what job you have, but regardless, I would encourage you, if you do need to find a job, I'd rather it be something that is specific to your career goals and something that is, on campus, because that's gonna work a lot better compared to if you have to work at McDonald's or some other, fast food restaurant or some type of retail shop. Nothing wrong with those. I'm just letting you know, they will not be as open or as willing to work with you to work around your school schedule, despite them claiming, yeah, we'll work it. No, they won't. Now, on top of that, I previously said, find something that relates to your career goals. If you're already going to be spending hours outside of the classroom, to make that money, because again, it is essential. Many of you are going to be living on your own. You got to be able to financially support yourself. I'd rather you find a job where you can actually take the skills and have a quick intro into what your next career move is. So if you're going into some type of fitness career path, okay, perfect. Find a small part-time job that is still in the field of fitness. If you can't find that, find some type of internship where you get at least some type of paid internship, some type of stipend, something, as long as it relates to your career goals. Again, this is going to be the most absolute, just the best way to make money and still learn skills that can then transfer over to after graduation once you actually go look for your career post-graduation. It's going to be a little bit different from everyone, but if you play your cards right, you'll be surprised and you'll get lucky. You'll find something that works to your advantage. So there you have it, everyone. Those are just some of my tips that have helped me get through college. Again, I started off college in 2019, graduated last year, 2023. I was able to get everything I needed to get done in 4 years. I know many people, they take them 5, 6, even so. I've heard the latest one I've heard was 7 years. If you play your cards right, you could be able to manage everything accordingly. You can stay on top of your school schedule, you can stay on top of your part-time jobs, and you can stay on top of your gains. It's just a matter of prioritizing what's important and being critical of your time management. As the years go on, semester after semester, you're only going to get busier and busier. Hopefully these tips were helpful. Comment down below what were some of the tips that you had that have helped you, or if you're a current student, what are some things that you are doing to help you balance everything that you have going on in your life. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe not just to my channel, but my girlfriend's channel and our couple's channel so you don't miss on any new videos. Because remember, new videos every week across the board for all 3 channels. For this channel specifically, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. And Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on my accounts, girlfriend's accounts, couple's accounts. I put all the links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.